Now, this is a message to everyone who's watching this video as we speak. Don't be, and I repeat, don't be a stan. I don't care how much love you got for your favorite artist. Being a stan is not a good thing. It's not something that should be celebrated, nor is it something that gives you some kind of cool points. So yeah, let's actually have a conversation about this though. The word stan, of course, originates from Eminem's Stan song, the song where Eminem speaks from the perspective of an obsessive fan, aka a stan. The track starts off with a very passive first verse where Stan describes his love for M, and then in the second verse, it gets a little more aggressive because Stan is really upset that Eminem didn't respond to the letters that he's been sending him. And then last but not least, on the third verse is where he's had enough, and as a result of all this, Stan decides to end his own life. Even the place where the word stan originally comes from paints it as a negative thing. So how come it's now gotten to a point where people use this word so lightly when they talk about their favorite artist? I stan Eminem, I stan Ariana Grande, I stan Nicki Minaj. It's almost like people are trying to normalize the stan culture to the point of, if you don't stan your favorite artist, then are you really even supporting them in the first place? So I want to ask you a question, okay? And this is going to give you the answer as to whether or not you stan your favorite rapper. So the question is, if I criticize your favorite rapper right now, will you be able to have a level-headed conversation about my criticism towards them? If the answer is no, then you guessed it, you're a stan. And if you are, by the way, you don't have to feel bad about it because a lot of people are just that. It seems like it's honestly the norm to be one. But let me offer you some perspective regarding this entire thing, because I think it's important to be aware of how you feel towards your favorite artist. It really does say something about you. People idolize celebrities in the first place because they feel like they can relate to them on some kind of level. What social media and especially the internet has done nowadays though is magnify this relatability aspect of the equation. As an example of what I'm talking about, take a look at this video right here.
You don't get off? This nigga's a bitch right here. Straight pussy. Bitch ass nigga. This nigga's a bitch. Trying to record niggas on some weird shit. He's a bitch. If we wasn't in the airport, I'll knock your ass out.
So what you saw right there was a video of YG not only humiliating but also threatening one of his fans. Isn't it funny how this man still has fans after he treats one of his own like this? Even though I'm saying that, I do know why he still has fans. There's obviously people out there who value what he does, and the relatability aspect that I'm talking about is this. People connect with and appreciate YG's music so strongly to the point of disregarding whether or not YG is a good person or not. Of course, this isn't exclusive to YG only. There's a lot of celebrities who, to be quite honest with you, are not good people, but somehow they still have people who stand them. And another thing, I want you to realize that reaching your favorite rapper nowadays is extremely easy. All you need to do is tweet them or DM them on Instagram, and you might, okay? You might just get a response. Of course, it's very rare that you get a response from most of them, but it does happen. Look at someone like Jid, who's extremely interactive with his fans on Twitter. When you see someone like Jid humbling himself to the point of talking to the people who support him, it's extremely easy to stan him. I mean, not only is he one of the most talented rappers in hip-hop right now, but he also loves talking to his fans. He has an extremely likable personality, and from what I've seen and heard from people who've met him in real life, he's just an all-around good person. I'm mentioning Jid because he's one of those rappers who's extremely easy to like. That's why he has such a supportive fan base. But sometimes that love you have for him might just go to the next level and you might just become a stan. There's a difference between being a passionate fan and a straight up stan. The bad thing about being a stan is when it comes to your favorite rapper, you won't be able to think rationally because you've bought into every single thing they do. You're convinced that they're great no matter what they do, and in a way you kind of lose yourself in them. And this is exactly what an article about celebrity worship says. You really get to love them. They don't know you, but you love them. But you love, I think, what you imagine they are. You put more into the person to a certain extent than they may even give out on the screen because they represent a dream. You lose yourself in those people. I think people who stan artists forget that at the core you do not know these people at all. Everything you think you know about them is really just a part of their image. It's not necessarily who they are on a day-to-day basis. So if you don't really know them, why do you think being an obsessive fan of this person is a good idea? Just like you wouldn't go out of your way to march in a protest for a cause that you're not familiar with, why the hell are you even standing anyone in the first place? The good thing about not being a stan is there's always going to be that little disconnect between you and them. So if they do something you don't necessarily agree with, you're not going to be afraid to admit the truth to yourself. And you're not going to have all these made up expectations of who they are if they do act out of character, because really at the end of the day, by being a stan, you're really just setting yourself and them up for failure. Just know that the artist you stan will never be able to live up to your expectations, because the expectations you have of them is you've essentially put them on a pedestal that doesn't even exist. It's not even a normal pedestal. You've really put them on something beyond a pedestal, and because they're human just like you, they'll never be able to live up to that potential, because the expectations you have of them is something that's beyond what a normal person can do. So yeah, I don't personally think being a stan is a good thing at all. I don't care who your favorite artist is, being one should never be an option. The only person you should stan in this entire entire world is yourself. Be the hero of your own movie instead of standing another person. Now, that's what I personally have to say about this entire topic, but what do you think about this whole discussion? Do you agree with me when I say that being a stan is not a good thing and being a passionate fan is a better approach instead? If anything, definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this.